Yo, welcome back to Business Casual. I'm your host, Miles Brown. Today's episode is about contracting and the beauties of either being a contractor or hiring contract work. Obviously, we're in 2023. Contracting is not a new thing. COVID definitely shed the light on freelancing and opening that door to people making a living right from their home, and also being able to tap into some superpower brains that may not be locally in your area. One of the best things that I have done for my business as of late is letting go my traditional marketing company that's highly focused on Google ads, and not to shoot Google ads in the foot, but boy, do they cost a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's for a good reason. I mean, if you got tons and tons and tons of money to throw at this thing every single month, it will pay off in the long run. But it's always good to kind of find a cheaper alternative. And one of the things that had been very hard for me to replace, I had this guy named Richard Callahan, absolute dynamo, lead generation guy. He prospected very well. He made the cold calls. He set up the estimates. I mean, absolutely phenomenal workflow. And I had not been able to replace him. And, you do some research, you find out about, ads, Google ads, Facebook, social media, this type of thing. And I got away from my bread and butter. I gave him like a nice retainer up front. He delivered, and reads up on another retainer and goes again. And so in this season of life, I had done the ads thing. Like, I've literally probably paid in the last 3 years or something like that, like 40, 50K in ads. Easy. And that's a low ball. I mean, it's got to be probably like 60, 70K. Easy. And the return on that investment was enough to continue to, break even on it. But when you market, you're not necessarily looking to break even. Like, you're trying to grow the business exponentially. Like, for every marketing dollar you put out, you kind of want that to reap a harvest, And so I went on a very known like Fiverr and Upwork, and I found a guy, young man, who took over my lead generation. Started the first day, and I'll compare this to my old marketing company. We would go 3, maybe 4 or 5 months without getting one estimate. And then there'd be a couple of months where we would get like 4 or 5 estimates in a month from Google ads. This cold calling technique, which is an old bread and butter thing, like, people don't really see the power in it, the young people. But truthfully, this is how like a lot of companies are thriving, because people don't like doing it. The first day, we got a estimate. The first day. And it's because, like Richard Callahan said all the time, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And when you look at Google ads, to beef up your numbers, it takes direct dollars. But when you're working with human capital, you can incentivize a human to do more work and put the payment on the back end for, let's say, commission. If this person does X, Y, and Z, and this happens, they get this. You can't incentivize Google Ads with anything other than $1, which that's their business model. It works. It brings them billions and, trillions of dollars, whatever. But for a small company that's trying to survive and make it and go somewhere, a lot of times we try to artificial intelligence our way, we try to tech our way, but there's so much to be said for humans and human capital. And it's easy to overlook the power of freelancers. Like, you just want to go to a service, click some buttons, and boom. But a lot of times building that rapport from ground up with a person, you get more out of them. They've worked with you for a year or two on a project, and they're willing to give extra to this person that's been feeding them and taking care of them and supplying them with work. They're willing to go a little bit above and beyond for you. But when you hire a corporation, a company, it's just you're a number and a cog. And the thing about small businesses is people. The reason huge corporations want to come and buy small companies is because of what they're able to accomplish with so little. The corporation comes in and looks and goes, man, if these guys are hitting $1 million with like 14 people, and we got a sales team of 14 people alone, we can maximize this business in a year and be worth 10, 15, 20 million. Simple. The math. So as a small business, things that work for huge, large corporations like Google Ads don't necessarily work for a small company, especially a company that's trying to get off its feet. If you have a business that you're trying to get off your feet, running ads is probably going to be your biggest expense. And most people who are going to be successful are going to figure out a way to touch a lot of people for the least amount of money. And the people that they're touching have to be directly involved in the demographic that they want. So it takes tons of research. And that's another reason to get a consultant or some type of freelancer, somebody who knows your industry from a different vantage point than you. You may know how to work that business, but this other person may know how to break down the data and the analytics of your business. And one of the things that Henry Ford did, which I always kept in my tool bag, was don't be the smartest person in the room. You might be the richest, you may own everything in here, but certainly don't be the smartest person. Because if you can hire amazing talent, put them around you, the ideas and stuff that can come out of that scenario, having like a rock star team of freelancers, that one person may be digital art, another person might be a salesperson that's just a dynamo, another person is like an engineer that's coming up with new ways, another person that's creating funnels and social media. And to be honest with you, if you tried to get all of that from companies, you're going to end up paying millions of dollars, like legit, high $100,000 millions of dollars, if you want those type of departments on your staff. But the power of freelancers, the power of getting a consultant to break down new and improved ways of doing the same thing. Like I call it, build a better mousetrap. I get that from a bunch of like business stuff. You always hear about build a better mousetrap, build a better mousetrap. Well, the more heads you have in there with you that are smarter than you and all of this type of things, the mousetrap that they can build together is amazing. And when you trap that customer in that mousetrap and they don't even want to leave. Like, the mousetrap is just so plush and nice that you keep that customer locked in that deal for 5 years, 10 years worth of retention because they don't want to go anywhere. The return on investment is astounding. And one of the best things you can do as a small business owner now is invest in people. And it's the worst thing. It's the best and the worst thing you can do. Fire fast, hire quick. Allow that person to jump in, show you what they got. If they can't swim, cut them. Cut your losses early. If they're performing good, beef them up. Throw them some more. And show them where their limits are. Or no, let them show you where their limits are. Until next time, I'm your host, Miles Brown. Hope you took something in from that. Peace.